Hello, my loves. Hello, beautiful mom leaders. Welcome to Conscious Champagne Chat number 72. I hope it's the right number and I didn't miscount. Today, after, practicing yoga and enjoying the last, I feel like, rays of sunshine. Our summer was terrible in Germany, to be honest. So, like every sunshine I can get, I'm going outside, trying to enjoy it. So let me share with you my beautiful scenery, just to brag a little bit, but I'm madly in love. Look, isn't this pretty? Isn't this so amazing? Like the right place to do yoga. You can see my daughter there and the yoga mat. So I'm like all relaxed and have a teenage dog who's not so relaxed, It's hilarious. So, my friends, I want to talk about pet peeves, which is kind of ironic, after a yoga session. But I really want to share with you how pet peeves, when you know how to read them and use them, how they can actually be less annoying and how they make your life less annoying and how they can help you to connect more with the people that, annoy you. And so let me share with you what I mean with pet peeves, right? It's these tiny little things that annoy the hell out of us. And this dog is hilarious. You're hilarious. I know. It's the tiny little things that annoy us, and we can't quite explain them, right? They're not logical, they're not rational, but they're there, and they really annoy the heck out of us. And so let me give you a couple of examples. Like I used to get really triggered by my daughter's noise from just drinking. She would, every time she drank, she would make this like clok, 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 clok sound. And I couldn't even explain it. But every time she made that sound, I could literally like feel the heat rising up in my body, And I really had to like force myself and control it and not like yell at her, like saying, stop it, it's so annoying. Until, and I didn't really know what this was for a really long time, until I share you how to find out what is actually really behind the pet peeves and how you can clear them out of your body. Another example I want to share from, a beautiful woman who's in this group and is also a client of mine. She was sitting at dinner with her son and her mom. She lives with her mom, and her mom started to get all picky with her son's food. And she would just keep picking at him. And she said, I sat there and it's just like, it really irritated me. It really, really annoyed me. And so she asked, like, why are you doing that? But here's the thing. The irritation is on us. The reaction is created in our nervous system, inside of our bodies first. And the reason there is a reaction, an irrational, illogical reaction to a pet peeve is because there's some sort of emotional imprint, some sort of emotional coding that was put in there a long time ago. And that coding is literally like activated. Like when you see pet, it's like, okay, let's run this code now. And then it starts a whole thought pathway and emotional pathway that is being triggered so fast that you can't control it. You don't understand where it's coming from because it's all running in the background. It's all subconsciously. And so it's not the other person. Like we want to tell the other person, like, stop it. What are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you, basically? But this other person, like in this case, her mom, is literally just doing something she probably considers to be super, super normal, right? Like most people are not aware of their habits. We just do things and that's a good thing, because if we had to think about a lot of things, how we do them, it'd be very exhausting. So it's not the other person, because the reaction is coming from you and is generated inside of your body. Now, what is actually really going on, and how can this help you to start showing up differently towards this person and start building a connection with this person, rather than, starting an argument and starting to create disconnection? So what is really happening here in this case, for example, is the picking about on her son's food has nothing to do with the picking on her son's food. The question you need to ask yourself is like, where has this happened to me in my life before? Were there situations in my life where my mom picked on me? Like, did she pick on maybe my clothes? Did she pick on the way I was doing my homework? Did she pick on, my boyfriends? There's a whole bunch of things where you can go into this. And I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you, you're going to find something that you remember, which is like, oh yeah, she constantly used to complain about this, and she would criticize me about this, and she would be very picky about this and that and that and that. And the feeling you had back then, and the feeling that was associated with that situation, is what is got stored inside of your body. So now, every time somebody is picky with somebody else or with you, that emotional coding is being activated, and it's creating that pathway to run and run and run and run, and you don't even know what's going on, and it's like just running the entire show, and it's taking over, and you don't even have a chance to react until you become super aware of where is this actually coming from. So that's the first step. You need to be becoming aware of. Actually, the first step is you need to understand it's not the other person. It's you who's creating the reaction to the pet peeve. It's you that it's inside of your body. That's where this is happening, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of the pet peeve, that it's where it is coming from. Where it is coming from, identify that. And then the third thing you want to do is we need to clear it out of side of your system. Because it's literally like, I want you to think of your emotion as it's a storage. It's you store them inside of your body, and the older you get, the more you store. And I was just literally talking to a person today, beautiful woman, lovely woman who's also in this group actually, and she said, I feel like I'm weighing 100 kilograms, but I'm actually very thin. And this is what emotions do to us. We carry our emotional baggage for years and years and years because we never really learned how to clear them outside of your system. So we feel very heavy. We get easily annoyed. We get easily triggered. And so this is where pet peeves then come in, because they're beautiful, my friends. Pet peeves are so beautiful. When you now realize you can use these little pet peeves to then go and clear your emotions, you become lighter and lighter and lighter, and you just don't get annoyed. So they're super important to start watching out for. Start watching out for your pet peeves. Don't let them pass. Not even the tiniest little thing that irritates you. Don't let them pass. Go in there. Find out where they're coming from. And then for those of you who know the tapping, go and tap that stuff out. Tap it out. Tap, 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 tap out. Okay? Whatever that pet peeve is. Like, my husband used to do this. It would drive me freaking insane. Why? Because it reminded me of all the times that I was biting my nails and my mom criticized me and I wasn't perfect. The milk carton. How many of you, do you know how like the empty milk carton gets put in the fridge and it's in the fridge and you're taking it out and it's empty and you're like, gosh, does anybody even care in this house? And so you start getting annoying, but what is really at the core is that you believe nobody cares. And that's an emotional coding that you're carrying around with you, that lives inside of you. And there's different situations, different pet peeves of how literally, look at this, is like the universe brings pet peeves to you to show you what you need to clear out of your system. So the milk carton is here to tell you that you need to clear out your emotional coding of, I do not matter, nobody cares. You need to clear that out. It's literally, I want you to think of it, it's like a blueprint that lives inside of you that runs your software. And it isn't until you've cleared it out of your system that you then can start putting in and saying, I do matter. I do matter. And everybody cares about me. I'm being 100% supported. My husband cares about everything. My kids care about me. And only then you can shift into that energy. Like, hey, people actually care about me. Oh my God, I matter. Like, do you see how completely different that is? You show up with a completely different energy. And when you show up, when you shift that energy and you show up completely different because you're so light, you don't have that emotional coding of nobody cares. If you walk around like nobody cares, you're going to keep, like, the universe is literally going to keep sending you pet peeves for you to find that emotional coding that is holding you back. But you have to start paying attention and you have to start becoming aware. And then you clear it out. And when you clear it out, you then show up differently. You show up with, much lighter. You show up with new standards, the way you should be treated, the way you want to be treated. And in a way where you can absolutely build completely new connections with your mom, your dad, your husband, whoever it is. Great, my dog is wet now. That's he's hilarious. All right, so start paying attention to the pet peeves, my friends. Start paying attention. Don't let them go. I cannot stress this more, enough. And if you want to learn our clearing technique, that's what we teach you in the Rapid Anger Relief Mind. We teach you how to clear that emotional coding that is being triggered every time you have something like a pet peeve coming up. It's only when you get that out of your system, when you get that out of your body, that's when you can show up differently. That's when you can change your situation. So if you want to learn more about our Rapid Anger Relief Mastermind and how to join our program, either drop me a note in here or, let us know in the group. We're here to support you. We love you. And I'll be seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.